Oakwood Apartments. It sounded idyllic, a place where dreams could flourish and life could be peaceful. It promised peace and quiet, a sanctuary from the hustle and bustle of city life. We were excited, Emily and I. The thought of starting fresh was exhilarating. New city, new apartment, new beginning. Everything felt like it was falling into place. We were filled with hope, our hearts brimming with optimism for the future. The apartment itself was charming, with its vintage decor and warm lighting. It had hardwood floors and large windows that let in streams of sunlight. It was perfect. Or so we thought. We couldn't have been more wrong.
We spent the first few days unpacking. We laughed. We reminisced about old times. We decorated with such care, making sure every detail was perfect. The apartment started to feel like home, a place where we could truly be ourselves. We felt settled. We felt content. For a while, everything seemed perfect.
Then, things started to change. The atmosphere grew heavy. Subtle shifts in the atmosphere, like shadows moving just out of sight. A feeling of being watched, an unsettling presence that we couldn't quite place. We dismissed it at first. Just nerves, we thought. Adjusting to a new place can be strange. We were wrong, very wrong. The feeling only grew stronger. It started small, just a whisper in the dark, a cabinet door left ajar. The television flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Our laughter echoed in the empty hallway. But something was off. The air grew heavy, almost suffocating. A cold draft chilled us to the bone, making us shiver uncontrollably. One evening, the lights began to flicker, casting long, dancing shadows. A low hum resonated from the walls, growing louder each night. Our laughter died in our throats. Our eyes met. Fear flickered between us, unspoken but palpable. We couldn't ignore it any longer. Something was wrong, terribly wrong.
We told ourselves it was the wiring, old and faulty. The building was old, after all, with a history of strange occurrences. But deep down, a seed of doubt had been planted, growing with each passing day. The whispers of something sinister, something we couldn't explain, lurking in the shadows.
The hallway was always dim, shrouded in an eerie gloom that seemed to swallow the light. Even during the day, shadows lingered, creeping into every corner, making the air feel heavy and oppressive. One evening, I was alone, the silence around me amplifying every creak and whisper of the old house. I walked down the hallway, each step echoing ominously, as if the darkness itself was alive. A chill ran down my spine, an icy finger tracing my vertebrae, making me shiver uncontrollably. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end. Then, I saw it. A fleeting shadow, darting just out of sight. At the end of the hallway, a shadowy figure stood, barely visible in the dim light. It vanished into thin air, leaving me questioning my own senses. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest, each beat a deafening drum in the silence. My breath caught in my throat, a lump of fear that I couldn't swallow. I told myself it was my imagination, but I knew better. The feeling was too real, too intense.
I didn't tell Emily. I couldn't bring myself to share the terror that gripped me. I didn't want to scare her. She had enough to worry about without adding my fears to the list. But I couldn't shake the feeling. We were not alone. Something else was here, watching, waiting, and it was only a matter of time before it revealed itself. I saw her in the mirror, a woman, standing behind me, pale as death, eyes hollow and black. I whirled around, but there was no one there. I ran to Sarah, breathless and terrified.
I held Emily close, trying to calm her racing heart. I told her it was just a trick of the light, but I could see the terror in her eyes. That night, we slept with the lights on, but sleep offered no escape. The shadows danced on the walls, and the whispers grew louder. We were trapped in a nightmare. The night the chairs moved, we knew. This was real. We were sitting in the living room when suddenly, a loud crash. We jumped to our feet, our blood running cold. The kitchen chairs were overturned, scattered across the floor. Then the whispering started, coming from the walls, whispering our names. It was close, too close. We huddled together, paralyzed with fear. We felt a cold breath on our necks.
We couldn't breathe, we couldn't scream, we could only wait. For what, we didn't know, but we knew it was coming. Something evil had found us.
The apartment held a dark secret, a secret that was now haunting us. We packed our things that night. We left everything behind. We didn't care. We just wanted to escape, to be free from the terror that had gripped us. The landlord's face was grim. He confirmed our fears. He told us stories of the past, of a family that once lived in our apartment, a family that met a tragic end. He said their spirits still lingered. He offered no solutions, no comfort. He only confirmed what we already knew. We were not alone. We never were. We drove away from Oakwood Apartments, never to return. We tried to forget, but the memories lingered. The whispers followed us, and the shadowy figure haunted our dreams.
We were safe now, but the question remained. What really happened in that apartment? Was it the ghosts of the past, or something more sinister?
We may never know. And some answers are best left buried.